The Super Speedway Podcast is a Dream Bigger media production. For news, photos, show notes, and information about advertising on the podcast, visit www.thesuperspeedway.com.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Super Speedway.
Welcome to episode 178 of the Super Speedway Podcast, recorded Thursday, November 12th, 2020. I'm your host, Eric Young, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, James Cush. James, it was not too many months ago that we were saying there was no way in hell that they were going to get this NASCAR season in, but guess what? We got it in, man.
Just in the nick of time?
Yeah, right. No kidding. Yeah, definitely just in the nick of time.
Oh, man. Do you, so the end of the season arrives now. Do you feel a sense of relief after this season? I know usually usually I feel a sense of relief at the end of the season, but I know usually it makes you kind of bummed, but after this specific season, how are you feeling?
I'm ready for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's not so much, I don't know that it's so much because of 2020 and because of coronavirus and all that stuff. I think it's just more the fact, because I mean, I really, we just got races this year. We didn't deal with all the pre-race stuff, the qualifying practice, any of that stuff. Not that we do a whole lot of that, but I think just for me, it's just my Sundays have been awful. And I've tried really hard this year because of the stupid fantasy league that we have to watch races live so that I can use my bench. Not that it helps me any.
We have some good fantasy updates this week too. I can't wait.
So I've spent so much time trying to watch races live that it stressed me out this season because I'm just trying. I'm trying to get to the race live, and then we had the Texas rain delay and stuff like that. I mean,
I love that watching the race live stresses you out. That's
right?
So that just makes me.
Well, then I gotta watch commercials too, and it takes like twice as long to watch. And I don't know.
Man, well, I've been watching a lot of races on my phone.
Yeah.
Like bebopping around the house or doing stuff, and then I'm like, okay, well, I got the NBC app and I'll stream it to my phone.
Right.
And that's been the majority of my races. But on Sunday, when it was getting down to the nitty gritty, I told the family, I'm like, listen, this is going on the TV. I'm watching this dang race, and we're gonna finish it off. So
I actually built up a pretty good routine the last, maybe pretty much through the playoffs. Was, Sunday would be laundry day, and I would go sit at the laundromat, sit in my car as the laundry was going, and watch on my iPad.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so that worked out pretty well, and I could usually get delayed. I could stay up enough to where I could get through the second stage, and then I could use my bench, and then from the time of folding clothes or going from the laundromat back to home, it got me that little bit of delay. So the last stage I didn't have to watch commercials, so that helped a little bit. But I don't know.
I love that the fantasy league stresses you out as much as it.
I don't know why. I hate the thing. I hate it.
Me too. I know it's. Oh yeah, I know. I hate it too.
That's why though, is because I don't like to suck at stuff.
Exactly. Yes, it's your competitiveness.
Yeah,
yes.
Even though I suck at it.
I get it 100%.
I knowingly suck at it.
I do too. It's all good.
So we finished the season out this weekend, and guess what, James? We have a 2020 NASCAR Cup Series champion, and it's a new champion.
A new champion.
Chase Elliott, man, gets it done.
How about that?
Let's run down this. 34th driver to win a Cup Series title. He's the 6th champion in the elimination style format for the NASCAR Cup Series. It was his 5th win of the 2020 season, and him and his dad joined the Pettys and the Jarretts as just the 3rd father-son combo to win a Cup Series title, and he's the first most popular driver to win the title since 1988 when his dad did it.
And he's only 24 years old.
Yeah.
The third youngest to ever do it.
So I was really, neither of us picked Chase, although I think both of us kind of thought maybe if the tides would align right, it would happen. But, and I think maybe I thought that a little more than you did, maybe.
You did. No, I was, I went into this race thinking he was 4 of 4.
Yeah.
And shame on me. All Chase Elliott has done, he had a rough start, as a rookie and, coming up the first couple of years. But man, ever since he won that dang Watkins Glen race a couple of years ago, all that kid has done is put me on my butt.
This
every time. Every time.
this race will this is a bold prediction, and it's not really that bold because other people have made this prediction at this point. But this race is going to go down in history. This race is 1992. This was the changing of the guard. This was Jeff Gordon coming in as Richard Petty's going out. This is Chase Elliott winning his first championship as Jimmy Johnson retires. It's the passing of the torch at Hendrick. Passing of the torch is probably the big guy in NASCAR. I mean, I know Jimmy was never a most popular driver, definitely different personality than Chase, different role that he played. In fact, Jimmy was probably hated more than he was liked in the Cup Series.
And I think what you're comparing here, Eric, is legend.
Yeah.
I think that's the right word to say here. Jimmy Johnson, like you said, not the most popular driver, but definitely beloved by fans towards the end.
Yeah, we just left the Jimmy Johnson era, and now we're
the legend.
We're in the Chase Elliott era, and no disrespect to someone like Kyle Busch or whatever, and obviously history still has to be told. But I mean, we had the Jeff Gordon era, and Jeff Gordon didn't win 7 championships, so I mean, of course, the Jeff Gordon era was cut a little short by the Jimmy Johnson era. But yeah, I think this is a turning point in NASCAR's history, and like Chase or hate Chase, having the most popular driver win the championship in a year where we had coronavirus, where sports in general have lost audience like crazy, and NASCAR managed to keep at least the same ratings that they had the previous season. This is a good time to have, it's a good time to be on the upswing a little bit and have the most popular driver win the title.
Yeah, it's the right champion at the right time.
Yeah.
And Eric, I was thinking about the previous champions through the last handful of years, and I don't know if there's a driver that has a better positive following than Chase Elliott since what, 2011 with Stewart? I mean, that's
maybe, but even Stewart was a polarizing driver. There's a lot of people who didn't like him. I think a lot of people liked him by that point. He certainly was in the that Kurt Busch point in his career where people respected him.
And he had his own team, and that changed. And a lot of things changed about Stewart after that.
Yeah, he did. I guess he did have a lot of respect at that time, but I still don't think to the level of Chase.
No, Chase Elliott is a Dale Jr. light version here.
Well, not anymore. I mean, now Dale Jr.'s Chase Elliott light. Chase got the title, man.
Yeah, and I'm exactly no. I tweeted out kind of sarcastically. Now the Dale Earnhardt Jr. fans finally can celebrate having a championship,
right?
Because I mean he really did inherit a lot of those fans, and I know the numbers aren't what they used to be, but it doesn't matter. I mean that's, like I said, right champion, right time. This is a great person to carry the banner of the sport when we, we're transitioning into a new era with a new car in a couple of seasons now. Things are changing, and we're, the schedule's changing. I mean, everything's changing, but we've got this 24-year-old kid who can be a rock,
right?
For the next, heck, Eric. I mean, he's got 20. He won a championship 6 years younger than Kyle Busch did.
Right.
I mean, that's just amazing. I mean, just some of the numbers when you think about Chase winning this title, it's just amazing. Just fantastic.
And I mean, what's not to like about Chase Elliott? He's a humble guy.
There's nothing.
He's got your old fashioned roots. His dad was the most popular driver. I mean, he's great. It's the perfect champion, and I hate to be that bandwagon jumper. I've liked Chase. I mean, I've followed Chase since he came in. I've been a fan of Chase's, maybe not to the level of some people, but it's a popular championship win, and we have to have him every once in a while, and we haven't had one in a long. It's rare to have one ever. Yeah. I mean, seriously, the favorite never. I mean, not that he's the favorite, but the fan favorite never wins the championship.
Well, yeah. I mean, Dale Jr. How many? What was it? 14 or 15 straight years, most popular driver.
Right.
I mean, yeah, and he was in contention once.
Yep.
Ever. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
And so, now you've got Chase Elliott. He's got one in the bag, and who knows? What the future holds. I mean, he's going to have opportunities for sure, moving forward. So. I mean, just I mean, Hendrick. Do you think Hendrick needed this for the rough patch that they've gone through the last few years? It's just
Chevrolet needed this. Having a Chevy win a championship is awesome.
Yep, Chevy needed a title. I mean, it's crazy. It was 2016 doesn't seem that long ago, but that's a drought for Chevrolet.
So how about this? there you could argue whether the best four were in the championship fight, but the best four finished top four.
Yeah,
Chase
again.
Elliott, Brad
Yeah.
Keselowski, Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, all four finished up front. None of them struggled. I mean, there were issues. I guess maybe Brad, maybe the biggest with his pit road issues.
Yeah.
But for the most part, everybody had a clean day. It was a clean race. Chase just, outran them, and Joey Logano ran a great race, especially at the beginning. He led 125 laps.
Yeah, I would say that vibration Joey had may have changed things, because he really lost a lot of ground.
That's true.
Other than, and then Brad had the pit stop, and like you said, other than that, I mean, Hamlin was not. He just didn't have it.
Yeah, they didn't knock themselves out of it this time. They just weren't the fastest car.
Yeah, and Eric, shame on me for I follow David Smith and those guys at Reg Pod, but David was talking about Chase Elliott being the fastest car almost all season, and especially on the 750 horsepower tracks. And dang it, if I just didn't hear him.
The thing with me is I just knew Chase was good here.
Yeah.
And so,
but they all were. They all were good.
Exactly.
Brad had the best car, and he had the best car on the day. According to the data, he had the best car on the day. Joey was out to lunch for a while.
Yeah, if Brad didn't have bad pit stops, Brad's your champion probably.
Probably. And Eric, if this race is at Homestead, Denny Hamlin might be your champion.
Yep.
Just the way the season played out, right? So.
Right.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, a lot of what ifs, ands, and buts, but the season played out for everybody the same. And Chase Elliott, he got her done.
Maybe MVP on Chase Elliott's team is the Jack man who saved him at Martinsville.
That guy deserves a raise.
Without that, probably wasn't running for a title. Who knows? Because he was fast at Martinsville.
He needed to win. He needed to win Martinsville.
Yeah, he was fast at Martinsville. He might have made it up, but man, that would have been tough to do.
Yeah.
And credit to Chase. I mean, he was in the toughest position starting this race. He started last and was able to work his way through the field. Everybody had trouble passing, but not the 9 car. The 9 car flew through the field, and he was in contention at the end of the first stage.
Yeah.
Hell, he was in contention at the competition caution.
He flew through the field. Yeah, I know his competition gave him some room, as they always do for the championship four.
Well,
but
it helps to be Chase Elliott, who doesn't have any enemies too.
Well, yeah. I mean, Joey Logano can't say the same.
Right. Yeah. Who's Chase Elliott's enemy? Who is after Chase? Nobody.
Nope.
No.
It's not like Kyle Busch is fighting him for a championship either. If Kyle Busch is in this championship, it's he might be the only other guy. But other than that, I mean, yeah, he's got a clean resume, and it comes around, goes around.
Alan Gustafson gets a championship as well, so good for him. A great crew chief, longtime crew chief in the sport.
Yep. And got a lot of crap from a lot of people for a long time.
Yeah.
Early on in Chase's development, but and all these crew, honestly, Eric, all these crew chiefs did a great job.
Yeah.
Jeremy Bullins with other than the pit stop for Keselowski, they were great. And Paul Wolf, another great showing. I mean, that was a really great run for those guys, and Hamlin, another, like you said, another good run. So,
you can't fault any of those. The all 4 guys finished top 4.
It was great.
They all ran well.
Yep, they did. I mean, it was a championship performance for all these guys. They elevated their game, and unfortunately, one guy gets to come home with the title.
Right.
And that's what championship racing is all about, and that's why I do kind of like this format, for what it is.
Let's talk a little bit about the race. First of all, let me just reiterate that 312 laps, 312 miles, 500 kilometers is the perfect length for a Cup race. Let's please.
Yeah, that was great.
Let's please make more races that length in the Cup Series. I know we don't have that on the schedule for next year, but we really could use that. I'd say arguably the weakest race of the weekend, maybe because of the green-white checkers that we got at the end of the Xfinity and Truck Series race. We'll talk a little bit about those in a few minutes, but I think overall a good race. It just wasn't. It didn't have a lot of wow moments. I mean, Chase kind of stunk it up a little bit, and Joey did when he had his chance, and I mean there was good racing. Just that, I mean, I don't know. It wasn't Homestead, I'll say. It wasn't bad. Yeah. I think it was better than we expected from Phoenix, at least when they made this announcement. Yeah. But it wasn't the greatest.
Friday and Saturday, made it a little bit more glaring too, because those
Yeah.
were classic, late race finishes, and they
Yeah,
were really good. I mean, the
they
Friday and
set the
Saturday were
bar
really
pretty
good.
high. Although
Yeah.
I have an argument that the finish Saturday was a little artificial. We'll talk about that
Yeah.
also. But I guess you can't complain. But it could have been more exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could. But again, when you've got Chase Elliott, claiming that title, that definitely brings it back.
Yeah.
Brings it back up. But yeah, a late race restart. I mean, NASCAR is a series of restarts, and sometimes you get that long run in there, and it changes things. So
Let me give NASCAR some credit on a couple things with this race. First of all, credit for the PJ1 making a 2-groove track out of a 1-groove track. Giving people a chance to run the high line and make moves on the inside. So good on them there. Credit to NASCAR for applying the PJ1 at the beginning of the weekend and leaving it. So we aren't just plastering the crap every single race and changing it every single race, that it
Yep.
wore out. And credit to NASCAR for not manufacturing a yellow at the end of this race. I mean, yes, it would have been more exciting, but I'm glad we didn't have a stupid yellow for no reason.
Me too. Yeah, I was. Part of me was kind of wishing for it at the end, but
Yeah.
at the end, listen.
Not
these guys
me, because I wanted to see Chase Elliott win it
Yeah,
at that
no,
point.
I mean these guys. Exactly, these guys raced each other straight up all day, and the cards were what they were, and Chase Elliott, and that team earned their way to the front.
Yep. Had to make passes to get the win, and were able to do it.
And honestly, if there would have been a late race restart, I don't know. I mean, he's probably got this.
Yeah.
Got it head in the bag regardless.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably.
it was his day. It was his day. He, from go, like you said, Eric, he marched through the field right from the start. I mean, he was on it from there. So,
Jimmy Johnson finishes 5th, first of the non-playoff drivers. Great way to go out in his final full-time race, at least. I liked the way that the day wrapped up for Jimmy. I liked, I loved the crew members, which they didn't show on TV. The crew members high-fiving him as he went down pit road.
Yeah.
There's onboard video of that. That's pretty neat. And, big props to Jimmy Johnson. This is a big moment. He comes in to congratulate Chase, does the move on the front stretch. No burnouts. Jimmy says the burnouts are for the champion, not for him. I mean, Jimmy's got to do enough burnouts, and he's done it 7 times for the title, and 83 for the wins. And so, but I mean, mad respect, and there's a soft spot in my heart for the fact that Jimmy Johnson's not in the Cup Series anymore.
Yeah, that dude, I think I've mentioned this on the pod before, Eric, but that man broke me as a fan.
Yeah.
He really, literally broke me, because I despised him during that run.
Yeah.
Because the dude won everything, and it was annoying, right? Right.
Marty Smith and Jimmy Johnson broke me. It was Marty Smith's story about Jimmy. That was the end for me. That was when I became a full-on Jimmy Johnson fan.
Yeah.
As much as I couldn't stand the guy for being so damn perfect.
Yep. I know, he was perfect. And we've called him the GOAT on this podcast. He is the best of all time.
Yeah.
We'll never see. With the format the way it is right now, I don't know if we're gonna ever see 7 again.
I don't think
I didn't think we'd see 7 after Earnhardt.
No.
By God, that man did it. Him and Chad Knaus, and that was Chad's last race too.
Yep.
Shout out to Chad, but it's gonna be weird not seeing Johnson out there, like it was in Indianapolis. Remember when he had to sit out with the COVID?
Right.
With the COVID test. So that was really weird for me. But yeah, the 48's going to be out there, and it's not going to be Jimmy Johnson. It's going to be probably weirder than anybody else.
Yeah, it's going to be really strange to see. I mean, I guess it's not going to be so odd to see Alex Bowman in essentially somebody else's car, because we did see that when he took over for Junior.
That's what he's done, yeah.
So, and not, no fault to Alex Bowman. But I mean, he's going to be in Jimmy's car. It's going to be the Ally car in the 48. And so it'll be weird. Yep. I like Larson coming into the 5 and changing up the number and all that and giving it a new identity. That's cool. But Ally wanted to keep the 48, and there you go.
And Jimmy Johnson's not going away from racing. We're going to get to see him. And he's already been testing. He was at Laguna Seca 2 days after.
Well, I'm excited. I'll be watching more IndyCar next year, and I'm an IndyCar fan.
Yeah, me too.
I'll be watching more.
Yeah, I'll be watching. Yeah, I don't watch very much IndyCar I watch from time to time, but
I usually aim for the ovals and occasionally watch the road courses, but I'll be watching the road courses with the passion next year.
Yeah, I mean, we have a reason to root for for somebody now over there, and I'm hoping that he makes a turn at the 500 at
I
some
will be
point.
very surprised if we don't see at least one race with Jimmy Johnson in the number 8 Xfinity car next year.
Yeah,
Because he's
he
hinted
just
at it a
sounds.
couple times with Junior. He did it again on Sunday.
Yeah, and he did say, he had that piece come out this week about the horsepower and with the direction NASCAR's going
Yeah.
isn't for him. And yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you
with
could
the
just kind of
Xfinity
feel it.
series, though, I mean,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm just having fun, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
who knows where he's going. I mean, he's talked about going to Europe.
right,
So,
I know.
so yeah, I mean, he can do whatever
Hey,
he wants. And
Haas
he
has a
wants to take
couple
care of his
openings
team.
for their F1 program right now.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I mean, he could have him and Stewart running
Yeah.
F1 cars. Why not?
Well, I mean, Stewart would have to run the 2-seater.
Tony couldn't fit in the single seaters. No.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's not forget Clint Boyer's last race as well. Boyer had a decent day going. I think he had a loose wheel at the end was the problem, and finished 14th.
Yeah.
But I guess ironic that he finishes 14th and 14 car to end his season. So,
Yep. And I mean that's another. I mean, a weird career.
Yeah.
He had his ups and downs, but he was a championship contender at one time with Michael Waltrip Racing.
He'll be a big hole in the sport. And
he's going to be great on TV. He'll be better on TV than he ever was behind the wheel.
Yeah, I think so. It's still going to be different. I mean, but yeah, Clint's going to be a blast on TV. He's gonna completely revive and change that Fox broadcast. I think for the better. As long as Fox lets him be Clint, which I mean they did during the iRacing stuff. So hopefully they continue to do that. They don't turn him into a DW2. But as long as they let him be Clint, it's going to be fun. Although I'm sure it's going to worry everybody in the production team as to what they're going to have to, how they're going to bleep him out. They probably have to put the Fox broadcast on a delay.
Yeah.
But Clint's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. And one more where, who knows if we've seen the last of Matt Kenseth.
Yeah.
I mean, we've said goodbye to that guy twice now. So
Right.
I don't know, but I know it was a rough season, but still, another champion that we may not see again, and super talented guy.
Yeah.
I mean, those are three, staples of the sport for the last 15 years.
Right.
Longer, even longer.
It's
so
big. I mean, we got, like you said, 3 big names leaving the sport at the same time.
Yep.
Obviously they've all played different roles. Jimmy's obviously the biggest name, probably the biggest name to leave the sport since Earnhardt, since Dale Sr., I mean. Obviously different circumstances, obviously much better circumstances. Junior was a big name as well, but Junior didn't have the resume behind him that Jimmy has.
Yep.
Stewart,
I'd throw Stewart in there with his 3 titles.
Yeah, that's true. Stewart's pretty high profile too. So,
yep.
And then you got Clint, just well known and well liked, and then Matt Kenseth. I think it's the resume more than anything at this point for him. I mean, he's certainly on the not the most positive point of his career, but I think his career kind of, to me, ended after Martinsville and the Joey Logano incident. That was kind of the end of
probably the end.
Matt
Yeah.
Kenseth,
Well, and he played a different role this year than was expected of him, but he did what he needed to do. He righted the ship, and now that team is set for a stronger future than. I mean, that was a disaster he walked into, and
right.
He did what he was supposed to do. He righted the ship and kept the sponsors happy, and now they've got another young driver coming in.
Yep.
Ross Chastain. They're gonna do good things over there. I think Ganassi will be better off for what that situation was. They'll be better off.
I'm excited to see Chastain running a semi-competitive car. You can argue how competitive that car is right now, but
you can win in that car. I mean, Kurt Busch is able to still win at his advanced state of his career.
So I have a question with you on Ross Chastain. What do we want to see out of Ross Chastain? Do we want to see Chastain bring the aggressive nature that he's brought through the other 2 series into the Cup Series and see that trend come into the Cup Series, or does Ross Chastain need to cool it and put himself more at the level of these guys than his aggressive self?
Well, I think these guys need to be themselves, and if he's an aggressive driver like he's shown, that's what we need to see. I
want to see that Xfinity Series aggression all over the Cup Series.
Yep, just be himself. Just come in here and Joey Logano. I know he's got his issues, but he doesn't care. He drives like he's going to drive, and he's got a champion for it. So.
Well, and that's Dale Jr. will say that those guys don't seem to have any respect for themselves for each other in the Xfinity Series, and I'll say good.
Yeah,
You know, I don't care. I don't
Yeah.
want them to have respect for each other. Hell, I
Yeah,
want to see.
there's a guy who drives for Dale Jr. who definitely doesn't have respect for
Right.
anybody.
Yeah, no
anybody
kidding.
else.
No kidding. I mean, I want to see those guys. I want to see them rubbing fenders with teammates, man. I want to see that in the Cup Series, and obviously the package doesn't lend itself to that right now either. But
Yeah, but maybe in 2022.
maybe,
You know,
fingers are
We'll get
crossed.
there.
Fingers are crossed that 2022 package is what we need.
Yeah.
One other, I think, worth noting in this race, we kind of expected Kevin Harvick to play a big role. He didn't, and I don't know if that was just a fact of, you know, at this point it's over. There's not as much to race for, so maybe they didn't put the effort in. Maybe they just had a bad day. But I expected Harvick to come out and just show everybody up and be the first time that in this format that the champion didn't win the race. But I mean, didn't do bad, finished 7th, but just wasn't a factor all day.
They just weren't there
Yeah.
all day. And you know that I'm glad you brought him up because you know Chase Elliott wins this championship, and that team has a big emphasis on the 750 package.
Yep.
Same with you know Logano and Keselowski. They really put a lot of time and effort into that package. And
I mean, really, if you look at all four, Denny Hamlin also is strong in that package. So
yeah, and lo and behold, those are the guys racing for the championship, and Kevin Harvick's team really didn't.
No, Kevin Harvick's success was all down to being able to trim out that car more than everybody else could,
and you can almost kind of see it coming.
Yeah,
if you really look back on it.
Yeah, it was pretty easy to look at the trends and see. I just expected him to get there. You know, I thought he'd be in the running and maybe lose it in the championship race, but I thought he'd be in the championship race. But hey, that's not how it worked out.
Right.
Anything else worth talking about in this race, James? We had 2 hours 47 minutes was the race. We only had 4 cautions for 27 laps. So only 1 caution that wasn't a planned caution in this one. Pretty much the whole race dominated between Joey Logano and Chase Elliott. Brad Keselowski led the third most laps with 16 laps led.
Yeah.
2.74 seconds margin of victory. Chase was checked out, kind of like gone. Martinsville. So
yeah, he got out front and it was it.
Yeah,
that's all she wrote.
I mean, I hate to leave the championship race at that, but I mean, what else is there to talk about?
I mean, we talked about Chase Elliott, and we're going to be talking about him for a long time to come.
Yeah, we will.
He's in legacy building mode.
Yep.
So Eric, our favorite question on this podcast, Hall of Famer now, right?
Oh yeah.
He's got the lock.
I think you get the title. You get the Cup title. You're a Hall of Famer locked in.
He's locked in.
Between that, I think Chase could have done it. Chase could have Dale Jr.'d his way in there too and gotten in on first ballot without winning a championship. Yeah. I think, you know, I guess Chase kind of snuck into like top driver status without me realizing it. I mean, this season, between last season and this season, but really this season, he kind of, I mean, 5 wins is a lot. And, you know, he kind of came out of nowhere, but not really. And finally lived up to the expectations, I think. And, you know, I think this is the type of thing that, you know, next year with Hendrick coming in off of this championship and Chase doing as well as he does, the only thing Kyle Larson's going to do is Kyle Larson's going to amplify that team and he's going to amplify Chase Elliott. And, you know, between those two guys in the Hendrick stable next year, watch out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. They could be really good for a long time to come.
Yeah.
They've set themselves up very well with that young roster. I mean, they've got and Will Byron. I mean, dang.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's 4 drivers there that can win every week.
Possibly, yeah.
Alex Bowman, you don't expect him to win necessarily every week, but he's going to top 5 it.
Well, if you go to a 1.5 mile racetrack, he's a threat.
Yep.
So, something to think. Before we leave the championship, really quick, we gave all the praise to Chase Elliott, and I don't know. I mean, I'd love to leave it there. But what do we do with Denny Hamlin now? I mean, it's not going to happen for him, right?
I don't think so. I don't think he's going to get the title. I say that he'll go win it next year. But I think I think we said this last year. The same thing, the same conversation every year with that man. That's true.
And I hate it for him. Part of me was rooting for him on Sunday to finally get his title, but it's just, I mean, if it's not, I don't know. I just don't feel like it's going to happen for him.
We're going to see Denny ride that 11 car for a couple years, and then he's going to jump over to his team and finish his career out there, and somebody else will jump into the 11 or whatever number it becomes if he takes the 11 with him, and that'll be that. So, I just don't see you getting 3 shots in a row, and I don't think Denny's got enough time to get another shot if it's not next year. So.
Yeah, I think the window's not closed, but it's a sliver.
How old's Denny now?
He's going to be 40.
Yeah,
so he just had his prime season, age 39.
Yeah, so I guess maybe we got a couple good years of Denny left. Maybe he can pull it off.
I mean, Harvick's still getting it done.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we're setting
premature
sail too early on
premature.
Denny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's got another shot.
Every time they get into the championship race, I don't know, I just feel like you just count them out. I
think I've made it pretty clear. I want Denny to do it. I mean,
he's
Denny,
deserving of it.
He's Mark Martin, man. He needs a title.
He does. Yeah.
But you don't, just because you need one doesn't mean you get one. Just because you deserve it doesn't mean you get it.
Yep, and he's got the 500. I mean, he's got a boatload of 500s in his back pocket, but
the problem Denny has is his good years are there's just so many good drivers, and with this format too,
it's hard.
I mean, like you said, we got Chase on the upswing now. You got Kyle Larson coming back next year with probably his best shot he's ever had. Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, they're not going anywhere. They're still going to be contenders. You got Ryan Blaney, who's peaking at the right time. Harvick's still around.
Kyle Busch,
yeah, he can't have another terrible year. If you think
Kyle Busch is going to win one race next year like he did this year, you're crazy.
And then you got Bubba Wallace.
Dude's going to angry.
You got Bubba Wallace moving to a competitive team. Who knows what he can do? There's just so many good guys. I mean, let's put it this way. Denny's been in the running every year because he's fit to be there. So that's not
good. I mean, it's a great year they just had.
Yeah,
a really great year. I mean, it's not as honestly, it's not as disappointing as what happened to Kevin Harvick. So
no, exactly. At least he was in the running.
Jeez, I mean, at least he gave himself a chance.
Yep. Yeah. Well, how about Harvick? I mean, is this it for Harvick? Does Harvick get another shot?
I don't know, man. We come back with the same stuff we did this year. Why can't Kevin Harvick go out and win 5 races again and be in contention? With some improvements. I mean, I could see Kevin Harvick making some stuff happen.
There's some young talent that's going to start peaking here, and I don't know. The veterans usually always rise to the top. So, I mean, but at the same time, when Jimmy Johnson won 83, did we think that was it?
Well, we thought he was getting to 100.
Yeah,
and that was it. You never know when the last one's your last one.
No. I mean, Jimmy won his last race, and I think all of us expected him to win a couple more like really quick after, and that was it.
Yep, he had the 84 helmet painted and never got to use it.
Yep. So I don't know. Tough. We did have 2 other championship races over the weekend. We'll not spend as much time on them, but we'll talk a little bit. Let's start with the Truck Series race, James, which old Sheldon Creed got it done in the green-white checker at the end. Went from basically being the guy to being knocked out of being the guy, and then battled back to be the guy.
Yeah, he did. That was probably the best race, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Man,
that Truck Series race was excellent.
Yeah, Sheldon Creed. That
move he made to get the lead on that last restart.
That's where I was.
What was
going,
he like, 7th or 8th on the restart?
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming from him. And
me
holy
neither,
smokes.
man.
He flashed. I didn't know Sheldon Creed had that in him.
No.
Honestly, he flashed some talent there. That I was like, oh man, okay.
He kind of to me came out of freaking nowhere this year.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, like he was the guy that was like, he kind of reminded me. He almost reminded me of Todd Gilliland.
He never won. Yeah, he'd never won before.
Yeah,
and he goes out there and wins 5 races.
He was in the Todd Gilliland mode. He was always like, man, he's gonna get one. But he just never finished, and then all of a sudden, just bam, here he goes.
Yep. Yeah, that was what a restart.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It was amazing.
Yeah. I'm sure he opened up some eyes.
Yeah. So congratulations to Sheldon Creed. Brett Moffitt, man, probably the biggest bummer, ends up 10th in that race.
Oh, I know, and he probably was the best one to win it too.
Oh yeah, that was his race. Without that caution, it was his.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was. Yeah, he had it locked up, didn't he? It was.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that.
Yep. So.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, and I mean, it's that kind of happened to Moffitt last year too. Was the favorite going in and didn't get it done. He does have the Truck Series championship though, and is going to run in the Xfinity Series this year. We'll talk more about that. in a couple minutes. But yeah, I like you said, I think that was the best race of the weekend. A little bit more bumper tag with Mr. Eckes and Ben Rhodes in this one too.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
I don't mind seeing that
No,
that
never.
rivalry continue. I mean, Ben Rhodes doesn't have a whole lot of fans in the garage.
No,
But
no, he does not.
ironic that that his spotter is the same as Joey Logano.
No, probably not. There's probably some sort of tie in there.
Even TJ couldn't support his Texas wreck of Eckes though. Even TJ was like, "Nah, that was too much."
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Then Saturday, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, Austin Cindric gets it done. Again, last 2-lap restart with the green light check at the end.
Another like great move.
Yeah.
I mean, that dog leg makes for some really exciting stuff.
It does. It also helps when your leader has old tires, which I think was the case both races. Moffitt stayed out and Allgaier stayed out, and that cost them both a championship. But yeah, it was another good battle, another good race, and Austin Cindric is one. He's gonna be a threat next year. He's sticking around in the Xfinity Series next year, and he'll be fun to watch. I think he's gonna click off several wins, especially with.
Well, he gets to defend his title.
Yep.
And he doesn't have to worry about Chase Briscoe.
Yep.
Being around. I mean, Allgaier and Justin Haley are going to be around. So.
Yep. Yeah, there's gonna be a couple other guys that are in there too.
I think Harrison Burton's going to ascend. I mean, he's the next logical guy, and Noah Gragson is, he's the old famous Tony Stewart saying, "A dart with no feathers" sometimes, but he's talented. You can't deny that.
And we got a couple other drivers getting good shots in the Xfinity Series next year. We'll talk about those in a minute too. Plenty of teases coming. So I did mention, I teased earlier that I thought that one of the cautions, last cautions in this weekend, was manufactured. I'm not buying that Chase Briscoe lost it halfway down the straightaway. I'm sorry. That was he dialed the rear brake in, locked her down, and spun it out to try and get another shot at the title. Yeah,
and I mean
I fault him for it? No, but there's no way that tire just locked up.
I'm not going
to
fully agree with you here, but let me add gas to your flame. I mean, it's a Stewart Haas Racing organization. So that's for you. I'm saying that for you, not that I believe that, but there you go.
I don't know. I mean, it didn't work out for him one way or the other, but I thought it was pretty fishy. It was pretty fishy. It was a nice, convenient, high entry, lockdown, crinkle the fender a little bit, not really hurt the aerodynamics of the car. It was pretty convenient for a guy who runs dirt and has pretty good control of his race car.
I'm so bummed that he didn't have a better day.
Yeah, I really wanted Briscoe to win the title.
Yeah,
Nothing against Cindric, but I wanted to see Briscoe.
No, I was all out rooting for Chase.
Yeah.
We could have had two Chases as our champion.
I liked Allgaier. I mean, I think Allgaier has had. I think Allgaier is pretty satisfied with where he's at in his career, but I think Allgaier's got the short end of the stick throughout his career. I think he's a better driver than the opportunities he's had. I think his path just went the wrong direction, and it didn't work out for him. I mean, he's in a good spot now, and likely will have that ride as long as he wants it. He's got Brandt as a big supporter. He can take that where he wants to take it. But I think he's got a good spot at Junior Motorsports. I'd like to see him get another title in the Xfinity Series.
Yeah, I mean, and he's basically Elliott Sadler now. He's kind of in that he's a veteran that's going to he's going to run that series as long as he wants.
Yep.
And I think he's okay with that.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, he
just wants to compete.
Yep. So, all right, I think that's it. I think that gets through that. James, I wanted to look back, as we do oft in this episode, at our predictions from episode 140, the beginning of the season, week before the Daytona 500.
Oh man,
we made some predictions throughout for the year. We are definitely high qualified experts at this.
So good.
And thus,
no, I haven't gone back and listened to any of this. This is all you.
I don't have any audio clips. I just pulled up the show notes. So
no, that's fine. That's fine. But I haven't even looked at this yet. So
this is pretty good. There are a couple wins in here, but mostly very big losses.
That's great.
So
it's better that way.
2020 season predictions. First one was one big gamble. What one big gamble would we make on the season? James went with William Byron will make the Final Four.
No, that didn't work out for me, did it?
Yeah, no, that didn't work out.
He made the playoffs, though.
He did. I don't have my sound effect on my soundboard with the Price is Right sad trombone, so I can't play that. But yeah, that one didn't work out. My prediction, I got 1/3 of this. My prediction was Christopher Bell, Cole Custer, and Tyler Reddick will win a race.
You got that Cole Custer.
I got
win.
Custer. Hey,
You won that.
Reddick almost did it, and Bell finished second at the end. So
You won that. You won that Cole Custer deal more ways than one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Jeez.
Here's my win of the season. Team to watch. My team to watch was Hendrick Motorsports on the upswing.
Oh,
that one turned out pretty good. Yours was not terrible, except your reasoning for it was wrong. You said Team Penske, and you said because of potential turmoil with Blaney and Keselowski's contracts being up, COVID and other things ruined that prediction.
That
but
carries over into next season, though. Honestly,
that's true. And although I think rides are locked up, and I don't think Keselowski's going to have anywhere to go.
Probably not.
He's not going to have an option. But Penske was a good team, and obviously had 2 cars in the playoffs, so not a terrible prediction.
Yeah, that was a good one. That's actually not that bad considering.
Yeah, except I think you were saying it was a team to watch because they were going to have trouble.
I thought they were going to, because I thought I was on the Brad's leaving train.
Yeah, so was I, and I think without COVID, I think he was.
I think we had some stuff going on there, but
yeah,
and he's definitely not happy with that contract. I mean, he's okay with it, but that's not the contract he wants.
No, but like I said, I mean, where's he going to go next year? There's just not going to be any options.
No, I don't think so.
Pick 2 drivers that made the playoffs last year who won't make it in 2020.
This is going to be great.
And then pick 2 new playoff drivers. So James picked out Ryan Newman, and
I got that one.
Yep, Clint Boyer. So halfway. Your ins though are even more fun. Jimmy Johnson. And
damn it,
Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
COVID again.
Yeah, I went even further and I took 3 drivers. So my outs were Clint Boyer, Ryan Newman, and Alex Bowman. Terrible.
Yeah.
In Jimmy Johnson, Christopher Bell, Cole Custer. So yeah,
not bad.
Yeah.
You got that dang Cole Custer thing.
I know, right?
You were on.
I really didn't have that high of hopes for him either. So I'm surprised. I figured he'd be the weakest of the 3 of the big rookies. So.
And you end up winning Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. Well, that's the next question too. Who will win Rookie of the Year? We were both wrong on this one because we both went with the easy one. Christopher Bell for both James and I. We were wrong.
Christopher Bell earned more points on the season, not according to the playoff format.
Okay, best race of the season, James. What do you think turned out to be the best race of the season? Can you think of one?
One that we thought was the best race of the season?
Yeah, currently after we've seen this, what do you think was the best race?
Oh, I really like that Daytona 400 race.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think I'm pretty much on board there. Your pick, hold on, I just lost the screen. Where'd it go? Your pick was the Fall Martinsville race.
Well, that was a good one.
It was a good race. Wasn't the best one.
Not the best race of the season, though, no.
My pick was Coke Zero Sugar 400.
Yeah, you nailed it. Was that the best race of the year?
I
don't think it didn't. It didn't win Gluck's pole. I know.
Yeah, wasn't Dega really good too? Like the first Talladega was good.
The first Talladega was really good. Yes.
I mean, there were some good races this year. There were some snoozes. I would say that Daytona one. Maybe the first. I think first Bristol was the best ever in Gluck's pole.
Yeah, the first Bristol was great.
April Bristol.
That Daytona. I mean, listen, that Daytona race made it so that we will never leave that place again.
Yeah, that's true. So I would say between Bristol and Daytona. And I think Daytona because I think more was on the line. Worst race.
I was going to say that Fall Martinsville race, though. Remember where we were at that point because we didn't know we were getting what was going to happen because we were looking forward to the night race.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
We got the night race, and yeah.
What do you think was the worst race this year?
Oh my God.
I know we had a couple snoozers, but I can't think of them off the top of my head.
Indianapolis wasn't great.
Kentucky was bad except the end. The end was good. I know there's
Pocono?
a race. Yeah, probably one of the Pocono races. Michigan was pretty rough too.
We didn't know the Daytona Roval was going to be a thing.
Right. Anyway, my worst race pick was the Big Machine Vodka 400 at the Brickyard, powered by Florida Georgia Line, which isn't a terrible pick. I think it was decent.
Florida Georgia Line breaking up, I heard.
Really?
So,
Oh.
yeah.
Perfect.
That's going around the rumor mill.
Perfect time since that race is gone anyway. James's pick for worst race of the year was Homestead. Because
I was mad. Yeah, I remember that.
That was a fail.
Mad.
That was a fail. Final four. Who will be our
mad? Yeah, that damn Homestead. I was so mad back then because they moved it. That's why I said it was the worst of the year.
I know.
That
was a good race too.
It wasn't bad.
We liked it. We liked it. We said
even the virtual one was good.
Yeah, after that race, we said that Homestead is good regardless. It doesn't matter what it is in this season. So.
Yep, I was wrong.
Who will be our final four? James's final four was.
I probably put Byron in there.
You did. William Byron, Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano.
Oh, I got two.
Yeah, 50%. 50%, not bad. Mine was Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano. So 50% for me as well. Same two as you.
Not bad. You should have gotten three.
Yeah, I should have. Who will be our 2020 champion? James, do you remember who you picked for your 2020 champion?
Did I pick Kyle Busch?
You did pick Kyle Busch. I picked Denny Hamlin. So at least mine was in the final four.
Yeah.
So there you go. Those were our predictions at the beginning of the season. As you can see, we are experts. Don't trust anything we say, and this is why we suck at fantasy too.
Well, some of us suck at fantasy.
Yeah, some of us are worse than others. Yeah. Some of us get lucky for a couple weeks and think we're big shots.
Excuse me.
Let's burn through the news real quick. There's a bunch of news, but none of it's really like major stuff. So we'll kind of run through it real quick. Ryan Preece expected now to return to JTD Doherty Racing. I said it right for the first time in my life. In 2021, there were a lot of rumors that he was going away, and it looks like he'll be back. So I don't think there's much add there, is there?
No, it's probably once all the seats started to settle down.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where he should be.
Adam Stern reports that NASCAR charters are increasing in value. I think that's not a surprise with 2022
I was going to
looming.
message you about this, Eric, because this is a hot topic for you.
Yeah. I don't know. I still hate the charters. So I hate it. And I think we're going to create a situation here. I think charters increasing in value doesn't benefit us. I think it just means that the guys with the most money are going to be the ones that get a chance. And the most money isn't always the best competitors.
True.
Spire's got the money to have a charter. What are they doing right now? Obviously, 2022 will be different.
They're playing the long game.
Yeah, I think they are, and I think they're doing it right. I don't know. I hate the charters. I wish they'd go away. Wish we went back to starting the 43 best or fastest cars each week, or the 42 fastest with the championship provisional or whatever. I don't like them, but whatever. It's what we got. So,
there you go.
I mean, it's good to see that there's some value to them. At least, it's not a complete wash for the teams. Again, it's not surprising. 2022, I think, everybody's betting on 2022 to be the savior of the team owner in NASCAR. So we'll see what happens. I think 2022 is also the reason that we're losing drivers. And James, you brought this up with our chat a couple years ago. Brad Keselowski predicted this. I thought Brad was nuts, and Brad's prediction is coming true. And Brad's prediction was made at Michigan. I wrote about it on the superspeedway.com. You guys can go back and look at the article there. But yeah, I thought there's no way, but there's no irony that, and in fact, he's even said as much, that Jimmy Johnson is leaving at the end of 2020 when the new car was supposed to debut the following year.
Yep.
So,
no doubt.
It's too bad. So hopefully, I really hope that the new car is the savior to NASCAR. I hope it's all that NASCAR believes it's going to be. I'm optimistic, but very concerned. We did this once with the car tomorrow, and I think the car tomorrow, as much as you want to say Brian France, as much as you want to say, NASCAR turning its back on blah, 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 I think the car tomorrow is a large part of why NASCAR suffered the way it did, why we hemorrhaged fans. It just was not a good car.
Yeah,
and it didn't help that it had a big, stupid wing on the back, even though I didn't care about the wing.
Dumb. I know.
I didn't care about the wing at the time, but James, when I go back and watch highlights and I see that god-awful thing, I'm like, what in the hell were we thinking?
Yeah, and honestly, Eric, that car started to race pretty decently.
Yeah.
Towards the
once
end,
they figured it out.
But they didn't figure it out for forever.
Yep.
You know, it is what it is.
When the first driver to win with it says it's a piece of crap.
That was so great. I mean, that's just classic.
Yeah. There you go. So, NASCAR Awards Show will be the NASCAR Awards Show. It'll be on NBC SN next Wednesday. They of course canceled the big banquet. So at least we get to see some stuff and crown the champion, all that. I'm assuming most of it will be virtually done and whatnot. So we won't have the big crowds thanks to COVID. Thanks a lot, COVID. You're ruining everything. There you go.
Well, thank you, America.
Yeah, right. We can go deeper, but we're just going to leave it alone.
I'll leave it there.
Yeah. Yep. Colleague Racing could become a Cup team in 2022.
Oh yeah, that writing is on the wall there, right?
Yeah, I don't think that's a surprise. I think everybody sees that coming.
I mean, they should get honestly, they should run next year with Allmendinger. I truly believe that would be a really fruitful idea.
Yeah, I mean, you think Allmendinger's the guy, or you think it's they're betting on Haley, or are they going to bring two cars up?
I just think with the road courses on the schedule, you should put Allmendinger in a heck, man. Start and park the majority of the season and run those road courses I mean, honestly, like you could make the playoffs.
Yeah. With
that guy, I don't know. I think there's an opportunity there.
Yep.
If anybody was to hire Allmendinger, I think there's an opportunity there you could squeak a win and earn it. I mean, it wouldn't be.
But here's the thing, James. It's really easy to say that, and it's not that Allmendinger's a bad driver or not to a Cup level, because obviously he's raced in the Cup Series. He's ran well in the Cup Series.
He's won in the Cup Series.
Right, but you're not just guaranteed because he's a road course guy to come in and win six road course races. You can do that in the Xfinity Series, but you're not going to do that in the Cup Series. I mean, look at Chase. Chase isn't going anywhere.
No, Eric, I get that 100%. I do. I think that
I agree with you, but you can't bet everything on that either.
No, I'm not. But I mean, you could run
a 1 in 6 chance is pretty good, though.
Yeah, but you could run a season on a budget and put everything towards the play. I mean, you really could. You could run the season for nothing, next to nothing compared to all the other teams, and make a legit run in the playoffs.
Yeah,
with all the road courses.
I mean, you got to have cars. You got to buy them from somebody, because you don't want to build them for one season.
No, exactly. And who knows? I mean, you can get some used ones out there for the.
I don't know how many is 2311 gobbled up at this point.
Yeah, I know.
I guarantee you they're gobbling cars up.
They're getting all those Toyota. Yeah, getting those old Joe Gibbs Toyotas.
Yep. Speaking of next gen, the next gen car will be tested next week at Charlotte. They're reopening the testing of that. And I believe it was Kurt Busch, and I forget who the other was.
Martin Truex Jr.
There you go. Set to test the car. Good. I mean, I want to see the car on the track some more. I want to see it be ready.
It's time to get back out there.
Yep. Again, cautiously optimistic. So, Jimmy Fennick named Executive Vice President of Competition at Roush. Good for Jimmy. Jimmy's had a long career at Roush.
A long time, dude.
Yep. Deserves it, and he'll do good things in that role, whatever that role is. I don't know. Executive Vice President, whatever. Good for him. Good for him. He's getting a paycheck and probably not traveling as much, so that's good.
Yep.
This one kind of surprised me, James. Las Vegas Motor Speedway will have 2 Cup races through 2031.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a long commitment. So this is the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority extended a sponsorship agreement with Las Vegas Motor Speedway, designed to keep 2 NASCAR races at the track through 2023.
NASCAR wants to be there.
Yeah, they do.
They like the outlet, and it's a West Coast presence that
why wouldn't you? Especially you're getting into the sports betting and stuff.
Yes, that's part of it. Yes,
it's the party place. The teams love going out there when COVID's not happening. The town can handle the influx of people for the race. I mean, it really is a perfect place, and the track's better than it used to be.
Yeah, the race is fine.
Yeah, so I mean, whatever. I'm not a fan of seeing any tracks get 2 dates anymore. Especially, maybe I'm a little sour because of Michigan.
Yeah, we are sour because of that. I'm sour too.
I'm more sour because of Chicago and Kentucky, even though Kentucky sucks. I'll give you credit there. Kentucky sucks, but I'm still sour as a result. I love whenever they bring Kentucky up to Brett Griffin and he offers to drive the bulldozer to bulldoze that place. So it really is an awful racetrack. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Corey LaJoie, leading candidate for ride at Spire Motorsports next season.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's a long game play there too. That's
Yeah,
let's get through 2020 or 2021.
Yep.
You race 2022.
Yeah, that's what I messaged you on our Facebook chat that we have with Todd. Is like, yeah, this is. I was going to laugh at that, and then I thought, that's not a bad idea. He gets to run full time because his current team's going part time.
Yep.
So, not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's a good move. I think. Do I think Corey LaJoie is top notch ride eligible or caliber?
That's
no.
what he's trying to. Yeah.
No, but. Do I think he's a better driver than what he's had equipment? Yeah, I do. Yeah. I think he'll be semi-competitive if Spire can be competitive in 2022. Again, next year's a stopgap. He's not going to come and light any fires next year.
He didn't get the 48 that he wanted.
Yeah.
That's the seat that he really wanted.
Yeah.
But not going to happen.
A little bit of Xfinity Truck Series news. Riley Herbst leaving JGR, and he is expected to go to Stewart-Haas Racing in 2021 in the Xfinity Series. What do you think of that move, James?
I like that move for them.
Yeah?
I really do, yeah.
Do you think Riley's a guy?
I don't know.
Verdict's out for me on Riley.
Yeah, I don't think he's Chase Briscoe. But those guys, I don't know. I mean, Chase Briscoe... Yeah.
Was Chase Briscoe 3 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good team that could really elevate somebody. So there's something there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Let me put it this way: I don't have the confidence in Riley Herbst as I do as his replacement. Daniel Hemrick will be driving full time in for JGR in the Xfinity Series, replacing Herbst in the 18 car. I think Hemrick got a raw deal in the Cup Series. I think getting a chance to go down. Run a full-time season in the Xfinity Series again and prove yourself. I think Hemrick has another shot in the Cup Series a couple years down the road.
Cup Series Rookie of the Year and then got fired. I mean, he's that is a threat for the championship right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, he's running the JGR car.
Part-time.
Yeah. I mean, so it's...
I mean, I'm sorry. This season he ran for JR Motorsports part-time.
Right.
That's what I meant. Yes.
But running full-time next year, that's going to put him in the category, and he's a good driver. I mean...
He is.
So, good run for him.
Yep, I like it.
Brett Moffitt leaving GMS in the Truck Series. He will move over to our Motorsports Xfinity team in 2021. I don't even know what team that is. Is that the one he was driving for?
Yeah, boy, this is tough because he should be. I mean, how long is he going to stay in the Truck Series? Honestly,
the thing is the problem that Moffitt has is he can't bring sponsorship.
Yeah.
The guy's a good driver, but he consistently loses rides because he doesn't have the funding behind him. And I don't know what it is about Brett. He seems like a nice guy. I've had several opportunities to talk to him. He's always been pretty gracious. He was a little cocky last year after, winning the title of the year before and then making it to the playoffs at Michigan last year. But, I mean, you'd hope he is at that point. I mean, so... he wasn't obnoxious cocky. He just was cocky and good. So I don't know. I don't know what it is about him that the sponsors don't like, but for some reason he can't seem to bring the cash. I mean, Eric Jones has the same problem. So
yeah, I just don't think our Motorsports isn't going to do anything for him.
Considering I don't know what the hell team that is. I
mean, he ran 29 races for him this year, but that's average.
What's that? The 0-2 car? Is that what it is?
Yeah, the 0-2, and it's 18.3 average finish, and that's nothing in the Xfinity Series. So,
right.
But like I said, he's, what is he going to do? Sit in the Truck Series for forever? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, well, he was in the best possible position he could be in the Truck Series, running for GMS. I mean, first of all, it's 3/4 of the seat. That's
the whole. Yeah, I mean, that's the Justin Allgaier thing. Like, you go down and compete for championships.
Yep.
So I mean, he's going up to go backwards, I guess.
Right. I don't know.
So, there you go.
I think Brett's a good driver. Maybe not Cup level.
He's a champion.
Yeah. Maybe not Cup level. Maybe a championship Xfinity contender with the right team. Yep. Maybe a Clint Boyer-esque Cup driver.
Well, with two different teams, Eric, he's made 3 straight championship races in the Truck Series. That's not nothing.
I mean although with Hattori I'll give to him, but the other two, I mean, it's not like he's been with bad teams.
No,
Hattori was at the right time and they were coming up. becoming a good team, but he's the reason that Hattori became a competitive team.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
I don't know. That's it, unless there's other news that I missed, James.
I don't think so, bud.
All right. Race picks, we'll run down real quick. Just to finish it off, I beat James 45-38. Last picks, I told James he could get 5 points if he picked the champion and the winner. He did not. So he did.
Yeah, Joey let me down. I was looking good there.
He did get 2 points on me. He picked Joey. Joey finished ahead of my pick for Denny Hamlin and my pick for Kevin Harvick. So he gets 2 points, but wasn't enough. 45-38. And then let's talk fantasy league, James. I know you want to talk about it. You've been chomping at the bit for that one.
So excited to talk about fantasy league. So I'd like to congratulate our regular season champion, Todd.
There you go.
Todd, you did it again. You won the regular season championship.
Yep.
That's now NASCAR Fantasy Live calls it the overall championship. I'm going to call it the regular season title. Or I should call it the full season title.
Full season title, yeah.
It is a full season title. So anyway, congratulations, Todd. The real the playoff champion. So take that for what it is. The playoff champion. You're hearing from him right now, and it was me then Todd. So I did it.
There you go. Congratulations, James. At least you beat him at something.
Wow, a 10-race stretch. I finally held him off.
Next year, we're putting up a monetary prize for the fantasy league, so Todd can't compete. So
Eric, you just missed the top 3 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You finished 3rd behind Ranger. But anyway, back to the overall season, because that really is the championship.
Yeah.
Todd wins it. Ranger 2nd, same as last year, I think, unless they flip flopped.
I'm just kidding, Todd. I want Todd to be able to compete, but I would love to put up some sort of prize to get more people to compete. So I don't know how to pull it off. If we put a prize up, Todd can't do it. So I don't know. We'll have to figure something out.
Yeah, we'll do something. But
because it wouldn't be as much fun if Todd wasn't doing it.
No, and it's fun, and we like everybody who plays. Honestly, We've got some really good. I mean, gosh, we got our buddy Barron Speedway in here.
Maybe we'll put up a monetary prize or a prize, and just Todd will have to forfeit if he wins.
Sure. Yeah, you can pass it down to the next guy.
Yeah.
But Todd's really good at it. So yeah, he wins again. Ranger, then me, then Justin 713, and then Eric top 5, and then the Phoenix race. Ranger did win. I finished 2nd. But yeah, it wasn't enough for Todd. Todd gave it a go to try to win the playoff championship. Oh, I'm just glad I beat him at something. That's all. So there it is, Eric. We are done with the damn fantasy league.
Yeah,
done. I don't have to look at it for months. Thank God.
All right, guys, give us suggestions for next year. Do we do it again? Do we stick with NASCAR? Do we go somewhere else? Do we put money on the line and go to FanDuel? No, I'm just kidding. What do we do?
Wait, hold on. They need to give us money.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. $1,000 to compete. We'll give away $50 at the end of the season. No, just kidding. Anyway, suggestions, ideas you guys have. As much as I hate it, I'll do it again if everybody wants to do it. We obviously had our biggest turnout this year, so.
Yeah, we had some drop-offs towards the end of the year, but I mean, if we can get more people to keep signing up, we'll keep it going. I mean,
I got a couple. I really would like to figure out. So I'd love to just do the Patreon thing and let whoever signs up as a patron become part of like a NASCAR Facebook group or whatever that we can chat like we do with Todd during the week. But I really hate asking you guys for money. I know we mention Patreon every week, but we do this for fun, and yeah, it costs money to get the track and stuff, but I obviously still do it without getting money to do it. So, I don't know.
Who knows what next year's even going to look like?
Yeah, somehow I'd like to open it up to more people though, and get you guys all in there because it's fun to have those conversations during the week. We probably have to talk about less stuff than what we talk about if we open it up to the public, but I don't know. We'll see what we can do for next season. A couple things for the off season. I'm hoping to probably not right away. I'm going to take a little break. As long as we don't have any breaking news, we'll probably take a few weeks off from the podcast. We'll still be around during the off season. We'll
if Dale Jr. says he's coming out of retirement
right
to full time, I mean we'll have a podcast.
Yeah, we'll it'd probably be quiet-ish toward Christmas time, and once Christmas rolls around, we'll get back into the rhythm and start doing maybe every other week, and then we'll hit back up at the beginning of the season. So we'll be around. Like I said, if news breaks, we'll jump in and do one here or there. But I do have some plans during the off season to hopefully switch us over. We've been hosted by SoundCloud since the podcast began. I'd like to switch us over to something that is more all-in-one instead of right now we do SoundCloud and WordPress, and I think I can actually host on WordPress now. So I don't know. There's some stuff I want to play with. So if your RSS feed it goes all wonky, I apologize. It's because I'm screwing with stuff. So we'll figure it out. But James, you got any shout outs this week for anybody?
I got a weird one, I guess.
Okay.
So I got hooked up with an Xbox One. I've been playing NASCAR Heat 5.
Yeah.
So I was gonna.
How
put
does
my
it
gamer
compare to NASCAR Thunder?
It's not great. It's not the best game, but it's.
Which one are you playing? The new one?
Yeah, I got the new one. Oh yeah, I got the new one.
So I have 3, I think, is the most recent one I have.
Tony Stewart on the cover. I got the gold edition, so I get all the cars and whatnot. So
See, if you would have gotten a PlayStation, man, I seriously would have put the money out to
Oh,
buy
that's the
Heat
thing.
5 to play.
I'm gonna put my gamer tag out there. It's just JCush08. I think there's a space between it's JCush space.
Well, I mean,
08.
you don't want to put it out there accurately or anything. You don't want people to actually be able to find you, James.
I know. But if you guys add me on Xbox, and then during the off season we'll race. I'm curious. I'm doing this because I'm curious to see what the following looks like, and if there's anybody who's actually going to do this. I'll keep people posted.
James has a lot of spare time. You know, he's
yeah, I really do.
has a newborn baby. You know,
Yeah, I know. It's not
barely could find time to podcast, but he wants to play Xbox with you guys.
I just want to. Yeah, I know. I put it out there, and I'm never going to be on.
Yep.
But
Too busy.
Too busy.
Too busy. Yeah, cool. Like I said, if you ever decide to get a PlayStation, let me know, and I'll buy Heat and we'll race. But what we need to do, James, we just all need to get cockpits, we need to get computers, and we need to get iRacing, and
Nice.
start a super speedway iRacing league.
I'd have to give up a lot of things in my life. I'm just not ready to do it.
I don't know. I mean, you don't need kids and a family and stuff. I mean, do we really need that? I mean, we could have iRacing.
Listen, I tell you, I've always told you, you start it and see how it goes, and then let me know.
Yeah. No, I'm waiting for you and Todd to jump on so I have an excuse.
If Todd does it, that's gonna open up some doors.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'll ever do it because I know exactly. Like I've been playing some of this game, and I know what'll happen to me if I'm gonna play iRacing. It's not gonna be good.
I just am not a nice person. I get. So I think the reason that I'm a fan of Kyle Busch is because I sympathize with him. I mean, I did Arca Sim Racing, raced in a league on Arca Sim Racing. I would spend the entire week preparing, and the worst one was Pocono. So I've spent the entire week, James, testing setups, trying other people's setups. I had a fast car. I think I started like 6th in the race. There were like 20 some of us in the league, and going down the back stretch, somebody crashed in front of me. I missed them. And I'm coasting around under caution, and somebody goes piling in from the guardrail on the inside and cleans me out. And I was so pissed. I about broke my steering wheel. I wouldn't speak to my wife the entire evening. She was so ticked off because I'm getting mad over a stupid video game. And I understood where Kyle Busch comes from. I would have been punching Joey Logano too.
Yeah. No, so I got a buddy of mine who plays Xbox, and he actually downloaded the game. He's like, I'll play with you. And I'm like, okay, he's not a NASCAR fan at all. Like, could care less about NASCAR. And he beat me at Homestead in the very first race, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. He kicked my butt. And we've evened out since then. But, man, I was like, God, I suck. I really do suck.
I'll never forget the first time when I had my N64, I was playing the wrestling WCW game. I was so good at it. And I took it over to my friend's house who'd never played it before. And they whooped on me so bad, and that was it. I hate playing online because everybody's way better than me.
Sometimes if you don't know what you're doing, you're more dangerous.
Yeah.
We played Bristol. We turned just the two of us, and we turned all the AI cars on. And I was in second. I was doing really well, but he was flying through the field, like dive bombing into the corner, and I was just laughing the whole time. Like, I can't believe this. Like, this is hilarious. I'm trying to I'm trying to ride the high side of Bristol and
trying to hit the marks and all that.
Points. Yeah, I'm like, oh, this isn't a sim. I need to just drive.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
That's what happens in those stupid games. My shout out, I just want to shout out NASCAR. I mean, excellent job getting the season in. Nowhere in a million years that I think we'd finish the season. Nowhere in a million years that I think we'd end up running, a good chunk of the season actually as it was
The whole
scheduled.
thing. I know we ran the whole. It's a different schedule, but we ran the whole with the first sport to run a full season.
Yeah, just amazing, and not only being able to do it with the Cup Series, but I know there were sacrifices in the Xfinity and Truck Series, but we still got those ones done too. Just absolutely awesome. I think they did it the right way. It helps that it's an outdoor event that allows social distancing kind of built into it.
Yeah, your athletes are in their own vehicles for sure. Yeah, I mean, I really do think though, Eric, the way that things are going right now, we got this season in.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
I think so. We're gonna be right back to where we were in March here very soon.
Yeah, but if the playoffs were stretching out into December, if we would have pushed the season back, Eric, we would have been losing. I think we would have been losing drivers to more COVID.
Yeah, I think so. And maybe, guys, that's too something. If we end up all locked down again and not doing anything, we'll jump on here and do a few of these just to have something to do and give you guys something to do. So, we'll be around in the off season. Meanwhile, James, if they want to hit you up during the off season, how can they do that on social media?
Yeah, at James Cush on Twitter.
You can find me at TSuperspeedway on Twitter. I'll admit I probably won't be on that Twitter account a whole lot, but if you send me a message, I'll see the notification. I'll pop on there. You can find my regular account. It's eyoungdbm. You can find that. It's mostly work stuff, journalism stuff. So, not very exciting for the NASCAR folks, but
a professional journalist.
Yeah, something like that. I do get paid to use Twitter, so you can find the podcast on Facebook, facebook.com/thesuperspeedway. If we have any announcements about missing podcasts or having ones, whatever, we'll do it on there. So that's probably the best place to follow us if you're not doing it there. Facebook.com/thesuperspeedway. You can find the podcast on our website at thesuperspeedway.com. Click back through there. It was 2018 Michigan, either June or August was when I got to chat with Brad Keselowski a little bit on his thoughts of people leaving due to the new car. So check that out. There's all kinds of articles on there, past race coverage, photos, stuff like that. And all the old podcasts are on there as well. You can find the show notes, which have links to all the articles we discussed today and previously, as long as we weren't too lazy to put them in. You can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and SoundCloud. If you haven't been listening all along, there's all kinds of episodes that you can check back on. We have some interviews with some folks. We talked to the Orange Cone. Aaron Bearden was on our show. Brandon Crowd from Lap Traffic Podcast.
Rick Brenner from Michigan International Speedway. We've had him on.
Yeah, we've had some good guests. I had a interview with what the heck was Jimmy Johnson's crew chief's name last year? Why can't I think of his name? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm trying to blank. After you did that podcast with him, he did not have that job.
No, he didn't have it very long. I can't think of his name. Kevin Mendering.
Yeah, Kevin Mendering. Yeah, he's from Michigan.
Yep. Interview with him on there. There's some conversations with Jimmy Johnson, stuff like that. You can find all kinds of stuff on there. So check that out, old episodes. And if you want to help us out and fund our fantasy league for next season, you can do that at patreon.com/thesuperspeedway. James, we got the 2020 season in. It's over.
I can't believe it, man. I honestly, Eric, I can't believe we made it.
I know. It's time. It's time to take a little break. We'll be off for a couple weeks unless big news breaks. But we'll be around if you guys want to hit us up and do so. And we'll be back in a short time to discuss some more NASCAR stuff. And before long, we'll be talking about the 2021 season and the Daytona 500. I'm ready for the break, but I can't wait to do that again, all over again. So thanks everybody for listening. We hope you enjoyed the season, and we'll be back next year to talk about it all again. Until then, everybody, let's go racing.